Shaquan Show.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in to the Shaquan Show. The only place where normalcy is not necessary, but flourishing within your means is. You are finally flourishing with Shaquan. Welcome to another episode of Hey Girl. Nice to meet you. So today we're talking about generational luggage. These are the bags that we didn't even pack, but we somehow ended up carrying. Like, how, Sway? How? Let's just get into it. All right, so we are talking generational luggage. These are the cycles, beliefs, and burdens that got handed to us along the way. Some of them were passed down with love, but some of them were passed with pain. And either way, whether it was handed down with love or with pain, it can feel heavy and overwhelming at times. And so today we're unpacking that together. So remember in the last episode that I was talking about how your bags were already overweight before you even left the house? Well, this is the reason why, okay? So what makes generational luggage so tricky is that a lot of the times we don't even realize that we're carrying it. It shows up in the way that we react to something, maybe in the choices that we make personally and professionally. It shows up in the way that we carry ourselves, the way that we deal with money, the way that we deal with our health, even the relationships that we choose to cling to or run from. It's what informs our fight or flight or freeze. Let me give you a real life example. So think about a little kid who grows up in a house where yelling is the main form of communication. They're going to learn two things. Number one, they're either going to learn that to be heard, they've got to get mad and raise their voice and yell, or it's going to be the complete opposite. They're going to feel that it's safer to just be quiet and deal with whatever comes their way. And then you fast forward 20 years and they're struggling in life and relationships because they're either quick to explode or they're afraid to speak up. And that's what generational luggage looks like. It's the trauma, the habits, the patterns, and even unspoken expectations that get passed down to us. Sometimes, it is obvious. You grow up seeing it play out in your family, and then sometimes it sneaks into the bag without you realizing it. And that's where ACEs comes in. And if you've never heard of ACEs, ACEs stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. It's the amount of trauma or toxic stress that a person endures prior to the age of 18. So things like abuse, neglect, a parent struggling with addiction, or even growing up in a home where love was hard to find. These are the experiences that pack themselves into our bags before we're even old enough to know what baggage is. And then here's the kicker. Sometimes we wear those bags like it's a badge of honor. Oh, I turned out fine. Oh, that's just how I was raised. That's just how I am. It made me stronger. I pulled myself up by my bootstraps. News alert. First of all, people are not born with bootstraps. Let's just start there. Secondly, that may have been the case, but it also made us guarded. It made us anxious. We became people pleasers. We're quick to shut people down and out. And now that's why we have a society full of full of adults constantly talking about how they're done with people and they're not going on socials anymore. Let's not forget the fact that we live in cancel culture. We are quick to cancel folks who don't agree with us. I mean, clearly this is a passion point, but it makes sense though, because when you log on to Facebook, it literally asks you what's on your mind. So now we have this toxic playground where adult people have to watch other adult people have temper tantrums, venting and complaining about stuff that they never healed from in their childhood. But that's what generational luggage and unhealed childhood trauma does. It's like walking into an airport and realizing that someone put a whole extra suitcase on your cart, one that you didn't pack, but you're the one that's paying the price to carry it. They sneak into our carts. They make us think that it's ours to lug around. It weighs us down with stories and cycles that were never meant to define us, but we end up allowing it to define us anyway. And here's where we have to stop and ask, What am I carrying that belongs to my family's history and not my future? If I continue in this way, what will I be passing down to my children? What kind of legacy am I leaving for real? Just because you inherited it does not mean you have to keep it. Generational luggage can look like a lot of things. It can be the fear of not having enough, maybe the tendency to overwork and miss out on life, miss out on doing life with your family and friends. It can be cycles of silence when you really need to speak up. It can be unhealthy relationships that repeat itself because that's just the way it is. That's the way it's always been. That's what you've been conditioned to. It's what you're willing to accept. Maybe you don't know what it looks like to live a healthy lifestyle. You never saw what it looks like to eat clean. There was no lifestyle of healthy eating, dieting, and exercising, self-control, fasting, and prayer. So it makes sense that when ish hits the fan in your life, you turn to all of these negative and unhealthy vices that do nothing but deplete you even more and draw life out of you even more, right? So last week, I brought up how the word tells us to throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles us so that we can run with perseverance the race that's marked out for us. Notice it didn't say keep running with your grandmama's bags. It didn't say keep running with your mama's bags or your auntie's carry-ons. It says to throw it off. What's normal or what was normal for your family growing up doesn't have to be the norm for you and your family moving forward. So in this context, all I'm saying is you don't have to keep dragging around generational guilt. You don't have to keep dragging shame and brokenness. These things are not meant for you to carry into your future. It's not meant for you to pass down to your children. God literally gives you the power to break cycles. And the truth is, not every pattern is meant to be passed down. You're allowed to sit everything down that you were given that you never asked for, everything that was put into your suitcase that you weren't even aware of. But now, here's the thing. Now that you're aware, you have a responsibility to address it. You have to, no. You get to make a decision. Do I keep carrying this or do I break the cycle so that the next generation can walk lighter? Is this something that you want to continue to carry even though it doesn't belong to you? Or do you want to sit it down so that you can walk freely and boldly into becoming the woman that God has called you to be? Let's be honest. Sometimes we wear those bags like a badge of honor. Like I said earlier, my mama did it, so I guess I'll do it too. Girl, listen, just because it was handed down to you doesn't mean that it has to stay with you. And letting go and creating new standards and values and traditions for yourself and your new immediate family, it does not dishonor the family that raised you. And it doesn't have to be done in a disrespectful manner. Here's the thing. Confrontation gets such a bad rap. It's supposed to be positive, right? It's just that over time, society has decided that confrontation is negative if we don't agree with each other. No, confrontation is supposed to be you and I coming together to confront this thing, this issue, so that we can find a resolution and move forward happily ever after, right? It doesn't mean that you love the village less. It means that you honor them enough to say, hey, this thing that used to be a thing, well, it stops here with me and mine moving forward. I'm not carrying this forward. In that place where you last left me, oh, yeah, I don't live there. Oh, those guilt trips that I used to pay first class for, oh, I don't take those trips no more. Nah. All I'm saying is that you don't have to keep dragging generational guilt or shame or brokenness into your future and into the lives of the next generation that you're raising. God literally gives us the power to break cycles. So what was normal for your family back then doesn't have to be normal for you and yours moving forward. You're allowed to set down whatever doesn't belong to you so that you can walk freely. Period. Clearly, this is a passion point. Once again, I get so worked up. All right. So let's move on into a baggage claim for this week. Okay. I want you to take a moment to write down at least one. If there's more, great. This will be good. But write down habits, beliefs, or patterns that you know have been passed down to you, that you still do, that you don't like, that you still do. So maybe it's fear, maybe it's perfectionism, silence, anger, overworking, maybe it's people pleasing, fill in the blank. And then ask yourself these questions. Does it line up with God's truth for my life? Like, is this edifying? Is this life-giving? Is it helping me to flourish? If the answer is no, then cross it out. And then I want you to write a new truth in its place, something that you want to carry into your future moving forward, something that you want to be able to pass down to your children. So here's an example. I have to do everything on my own. So after I write that down, I'm going to ask these questions. Does it line up with God's truth for my life? No, it doesn't. Is it edifying? Nah. Is it life-giving? Nope. Does it help me to flourish? Far from it. And then, since I answered no, I'm going to cross it out and I'm going to replace it with a new truth. I'm going to replace it with something that I have decided to carry into my future, and it's something that I have already passed down to my son. So the new truth that I'm going to write is, I know that I can ask for help because I'm blessed to be surrounded by a community of family and friends that love me and have my back. Okay? Simple as that. I mean, well, it's not as simple as that. It took me a while to get there, but you know what I mean. All I'm saying is that I really want you to sit with this one. Okay? Sit with this one. Take your time to write these things out. Take the time to ask yourself the questions and really do the work to replace them with new truths that you want to carry forward in your own life and in the legacy of your family. You're not stuck with the bags that you were handed or that you inherited. You get to break cycles and start new ones. So all that you've been through, all that you've carried up to this point, it does not have to define you. And here's the best part. You get to decide what goes with you into the next season. Nobody else, just you. And I think that's great. I think that that's definitely something I would like to be able to do for myself. So anyways, that's all that I have for today. Next time on Hey Girl, Nice to Meet You, we're going to be talking about the layover seasons. These are the times when life seems to put us on pause. But what if we stopped looking at the pauses as punishment and instead we started looking at them as preparation? I don't know. Just a thought. Just a thought. Well, hey, listen, if today's episode stirred anything up within you, please feel free to share this with a friend who needs the same reminder. Maybe you are realizing that you've been carrying some generational luggage and you're ready to unpack that and dig into those adverse childhood experiences so that you yourself can heal from things that go deeper than just the surface of our once a week time together here on this podcast. I want to personally invite you into my community called Finally Flourishing with Shaquan on the School platform. It's a safe space where we're going to heal, unpack, and grow together. You're going to quickly find that you are not alone in all that you're going through. So you can think of this as a sisterhood where you actually get to exhale and get real. Maybe you're saying, hey, Shaquan, I've actually resolved from my bag of aces, but confidence is one of those bags that you're still struggling with. Well, I've created a space for that as well, where we strip away doubt and step into the bold, unapologetic version of you that's been waiting to come alive. You'll find all those links in my show notes. Don't just listen. Join me. Connect with other women who are flourishing just like you. We can do this together. Before I go, if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please drop a quick rating or review because it helps the Shaquan Show to reach more women who are ready to flourish. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast so that you don't miss an episode. Make sure you connect with me on socials at Shaquan Show so that we can keep our conversations going even throughout the week. I would love to hear your reflection from today's baggage claim. You never know. Your words might be the key that unlocks freedom for someone else. Until then, I can't wait for you to keep meeting you. And now that you've entered into the Shaquan Show, you have no choice but to grow. Peace. Shaquan Show.